This rule is in effect, the clerk said, to control the dispersion of the images and to protect their heritage. The images were staggering. Men posed with the faces of other chiefs, ripped from their heads as a prize. Headhunting, I found out, was not about brutality, however. It's about protecting the village from those who would invade and steal lands and mating rights with the village women.
There's some absolutely amazing pictures. There's portraiture in there. There's items. I mean, everything from pottery to the wooden spoons and bowls. The thing that I like the most about them is that they all had some sort of animal edifice or front end to them. So if it's a bowl, you'd have like 2 feet of a cow poking out of the front of it or something. It was really interesting. And so here we're standing in front of what would be a kind of just a basic version of one of their huts. Now this is interesting. This is one of the things that they actually pay close attention to in the museum, is they would have what they call a death chair, and they would tie the dead person into the chair itself and leave them for 45 to 46 days and then bury them 6 feet underground. One of the things that you'll see on a lot of the local native huts is this series of bull's horns, and depending on how many bull's horns, that determined how important the male of that hut was within the community. The more bull's horns, obviously, the more important the chief of that hut. This is Manuela. Manuela gave me all kinds of really good information when we were inside the museum. And she broke my heart and said that I couldn't take pictures inside, but that's okay. I'll respect that. That's a very important thing.
You can go around the village of Bontoc and you can see the same.
Yeah,
But not the pictures.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you again.
Welcome.
After picking up some relics and some tribal wine from the surrounding villages, I got some sleep and prepped for the ride further up into the mountains to Sagada. Of course, as with the rest of the trip so far, there were some amazing sights along the way.
Can I pay you 20 pesos for a photo?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I ran into some village elders resting from a long walk up to the top of a mountain pass, so I took the opportunity to snap a few photos. When I finally made it to Sagada, it was pretty late, and for the first time on my trip, I felt the sounds of silence. It was so peaceful in the mountains. The only sounds were crickets off in the distance and raindrops drumming against the tin roof. It was a welcome break from the firecrackers and the constant sounds of traffic in the world below, and the sleep would come in handy too, since I had a long day ahead. Despite TLC's advice, I decided to go chase some waterfalls at the foot of this little village outside town.
Wow, right? This place is amazing. We're able to get probably the last room available in Sagada from what I'm hearing from other people, and this is St. Joe's. It's really amazing. It's run by nuns, and we won't tell them I'm an atheist. All of the rooms are named after saints. There's St. Andrew. There's Simon Peter, and Simon Peter is where I'm staying, so I'll take my key and make sure I'm safe. All of the wood is made by local artisans. All of this carving work, all of the carpentry, all it's really smooth. It's like a cabin in the Philippines. It's a really cool fireplace over here. All the seats have special places just for the buns there.
Butt-shaped wood carving aside, it was time to head out and see the sights. First thing on the agenda, the hanging coffins of Echo Valley. Then, it's off to the Bamadok waterfall. To get to the coffins, you have to walk through an old cemetery and climb down several limestone crevasses until you reach a lower section. The hike is only about 20 minutes, but it's very technical. Some of these odd, dangling burial sites are hundreds of years old. The practice of hanging their dead belongs to a tribe called the Aplai people and comes at a hefty fee. A sacrifice of no less than 20 pigs and 60 chickens is required by the gods in order to have the honor of hanging out for all of eternity. A longer hike can be done beyond the hanging coffins, but I wanted to head out to the Bummadok waterfall. To get down to the waterfall, you have to pay a guide to walk you through the town and through the rice terraces. The cost is 600 pesos, no matter how many people are in your group, but that doesn't include the jeep ride there, another 650 pesos. As before, this doesn't include food or the cost of an additional guide for other areas around Sagada. The walk through the village really brings you back in time. The world seems to be broken up into the same tiers that chisel the panes of these stoic mountains. On the way to the waterfall, you have to pass through Fidelizan village. The guide should explain some of the history and cultural importance of what you see there. Once you reach the waterfall, it's really exhilarating. Film and words can't truly describe the size of this unexpected geological rarity in the middle of an ancient valley. There's no limit of time that you can spend at the waterfall, but it's quite cold, so you might not end up staying there very long.
I'll tell you what, the Philippines might be hot, but Mabodil waterfall puts out some cold water. Oh, it's nice on a hot day
though. Leaving the waterfall, you have two options. Return the way you came, or keep going around the pass to another village. I chose the latter. The cultivation and use of marijuana in Ifugao is largely tolerated, but that's not the only unique quality of these fields. Arabica coffee beans also hail from this location. The climate is perfect and the market isn't influenced by heavy trading. Visitors to this location aren't necessarily rare, but it's definitely off the beaten track. There's only one path that's been built in concrete, and it leads all the way through the village. The rest of the paths lead to the fields.
All right, Bert, right?
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much for a good trip.
Yeah.
Welcome, sir. Yeah, the waterfall was amazing, overlooking all those fields and everything.
It's very magnificent.
Beautiful. All right, so you're going to do this again today for another tourist?
No.
Finished for today, huh?
Yeah, I'm finished.
I'm definitely finished too. My feet are killing me. All right, have a good one.
Yeah.
Bye.
After 4 hours of hiking through some truly breathtaking vistas, I said goodbye to my guide and set out for my hotel. And then it's back to Manila for a New Year's Eve flight to Cebu in the Central Islands in the Visayan Sea. Alright, so we are on our way to Manila. The last few days since I got out have been really, really amazing. The views, the people, it's really something. The food's even great. And coming back down the mountains, totally recommended during the day. The views, just both sides of the road are amazing, both ways. The entire time you're in the mountains, it's majestic, to say the least. But anyway, we're on the way back down to Manila. There are two stops that the Victoria bus liner stops at. One is Pasay and one is Cubao. We're going to make our way to Pasay, I think, because tomorrow it's off to Cebu. Headed south on a main highway from an unpopulated area to a highly populated area on New Year's Eve is a recipe for traffic jams and unexpected delays. But I eventually got to Manila and booked a hotel near the airport. After checking in, I decided to go see the Mall of Asia and see a fireworks show.
This is the Mall of Asia, and it's New Year's Eve 2011. There's plenty of people coming through. Looks like it's going to be a pretty good night. There's going to be fireworks on the other side there at midnight. It's going to be a pretty good night.